Welcome to Sonic Movidas, a musical mix of recordings and interviews celebrating the diversity of Latinx music. In this video series, we'll explore how music has inspired our everyday lives, our movements, our movidas, and our dreams. Today we are featuring Jaime Ospina and his band Huache, a collective of Colombian musicians living in Austin who are cultivating the musical traditions of Colombia's Caribbean coast. They formed in the summer of 2016 and released their debut album, Amistad, Friendship, in 2018. That's also the name of the song they'll be performing today. The music that Huache plays is a blend of the indigenous and Afro-Colombian cultures who have been influencing each other and coexisting for the last 400 years. The indigenous flutes and African drums come together to create a mosaic of sound that has been and continues to be a powerful form of resistance. Coming to you from Colombia via Austin, Texas, I present Huache. This will be probably the first time a lot of people are even seeing and hearing a gaita. So do you want to just give us a quick, gaita 101?
Well, gaita is actually the name that the Spaniards gave to the Native American instrument. It's actually a Native American instrument. And the Native American name is Chuana or Cuisi. Then Spaniards came, and then, Conquer came, and then some of the Spaniards that made it to Colombia were from Galicia, and Galicia there's like a strong influence of Celtic culture in the central of Spain.
Yes, and they play a gaita,
And they play,
which is a different instrument.
which is a bagpipe. There's some of those bagpipe, because gaita is the Spanish for bagpipe. So when they got to Colombia and they saw these guys playing those flutes, they were like gaita. That was like, the
I see.
association. Original gaita ensemble is what we just play.
Okay.
So female flute, female drum, male drum. That's the gaita conjunto
So let's just start with how you first got into Colombian music.
into Colombian music.
Yeah, I mean, you grew up there, but we were just talking about how really you didn't know that much about it until a certain point in your young life.
Well, as a Colombian music is there like everywhere. Family parties, you get in the bus. There's, cumbia music. It was there in the air. And yes, I was like 25 years old in 1998, and my plan was to stay for a couple of years in La Habana and learn as much theory and fundamentals. But 9 months after, I was like, if I don't have that part clear, then I just need to build from that. And that's when I go back to Colombia in 99. And I have a friend that was like starting like a project in Barranquilla, that is another main city in the Caribbean coast of Colombia. He was like starting this like band where he was blending batas from Cuba and Colombian drums and Brazilian drums and Colombian flutes. He was making like a mishmash of Yoruba with cumbia with it was awesome. It was like an amazing project. That's when I remember like grabbing the sticks for the first time and learning like, okay, tap tipi tap piti kutun cumbia.
I love that it took you leaving home and going to study music in Cuba to actually
Yes.
realize, oh, there's so much I don't know.
And so much that I need to know.
And then, though, at some point around this time, you started a journey into like villages, I'm guessing, small towns, to learn from the real
Yes.
masters
Yes.
of
So I
indigenous
come-
Colombian music.
Yes, there was like a journalist, important culture journalist from the coast that was going to go to Soplaviento. That is a really small town in the middle of nowhere in the Caribbean, because there was like a really important maestro there called Catalino Parra. He was already on his like mid 70s. Catalino Parra was the composer of a lot of major tropical music hits from the 50s, 60s. And we were going to interview him. And I remember getting there, like towns in the middle of nowhere in the Caribbean coast of Colombia. It's like no current water, electricity here and there, no AC. It's like Texas summer all year long with no AC.
Wow.
And there's this countryside guy with his sombrero. I remember him laying on the porch, not even on a chair, eating a mandarina, tangerine, and I was like, this is Howling Wolf. I found him. I mean, for me it was like, wow, and I'm here with the guy right there in front of me.
Wow. How powerful.
Laughing and and having his mandarina and taking time to like answer to questions, and that's it. I was hooked. I was like, I need to. So at certain point I went back to Soplaviento and I spent like a month learning. He's actually my tambora maestro
Wow. So
At-
you're learning how to groove from
from
the master,
guy.
the guy who is.
yes.
So we were talking about this earlier before we started the interview, but one of my questions for you was, when you came from Colombia to Austin, was it an immediate entrance into the music scene, or did it take some time?
Well, I was lucky enough that a friend from Bogota, from my hometown, had been in Austin and played in ACL. He told me that he already knows some people from the Colombian musician community, and he got me in touch with Andres Junca, that is actually the singer of Huache, that is the band that we feature today. And I contacted him through Facebook, and then he was like, as soon as you get to Austin, shoot me your phone number. And I got to Austin and took a nap and shoot him the phone number of my wife. And 2 minutes after, he was like calling me, and I was like, nice to meet you. And he was like, what are your plans for the afternoon? And then I was like, pretty much nothing. And then he was like, we're putting together this band for the Colombian Independence Day, that is July 20th. Why don't you come with the gaitas and then we see what happens? And before 24 hours, I already had like a music family in Austin, and
I love that, Jaime. I love that the day you arrived from Colombia, you already
Yes.
were completely immersed in the music scene here.
Yes.
That's just beautiful to hear that. It really is
Yes.
remarkable.
And how you as a musician, that's all you need. You know that you can just like land anywhere in the world with your instrument. And as long as you have like a music family,
Yeah.
you're done. That's it.
Yeah.
Because then music brings whatever you need in your life, music is gonna bring it.
That's right.
Just enough.
And I know, I think it's taken me some time to realize like the community aspect of music is far more important and far more powerful than anything else to do with music, right? It's just this
Absolutely.
community that, yeah, wherever you go, you can enter right into it and be a part of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think this is super important, that music starts happening in the backyards like this. Because we are bringing music to the universe. I was like talking about that with Nicolas. Like, it's time for the music to come out of the darkness, closed, late night spaces.
Yes.
Where you work very hard for the alcohol companies to profit.
Yes.
It's time to swift that. And I think this is just perfect.